Hey friends, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is Saturday, July 9th, and I am here for a mid-year WIP parade. I've been really enjoying watching so many floss tubers do their WIP parades, and I realized that I actually don't have one with all of my WIPs right now. I did one at the end of the year, kind of the end of year WIP parade in December, but then I started 12 new things as part of Pam and Kea's New Year's Eve 12 by 12 and showed those in my first floss tube in January with my mom. So I kind of had a two-parter, and now I kind of want to put them all together in one WIP parade, and then we can also see how far I get on them in the next 6 months when I do them in December. So it'll be easier to kind of get before and after pictures in December, because I have some big goals to get some of these really far along or even finished by then. So it'll be kind of fun to see how far I can get in 6 months. I am just gonna do the WIP parade in this video. I'll come back in a few weeks with another normal floss tube at the end of the month and see, because I did one about a week ago, and now I'm here for WIP parade, and then I'll do another one at the end of the month before I get started with work. So yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of jump on in. I'm gonna give as much information as I can. I do have my notes here. The pattern, the fabric, if there's a cool project bag associated with it, any kind of changes that I'm doing, I'm gonna try and give it all as much as I can. I actually haven't counted. I think I'm at, oh gosh, I think I'm above 30 now, because I had 60, so 13 plus 11, no, 13 plus 11, I'm at 23. Whew. Goodness, okay, so it's 23. So this is the most WIPs I've ever had, so this will probably be the longest video, longest WIP parade, at least, that I've ever had. So I'm gonna jump on in. I'm gonna go from oldest to newest. So this, kind of do like reverse chronological order. No, chronological order? I'm gonna go from oldest to newest. So this first one is my only WIP left from 2019. I started stitching in high school, but I was very much a monogamous, one at a time, and now I am not that at all. And so this is my last one from 2019. It is Celtic Christmas from Lavender and Lace. And this one has a little bit of a story too. My grandmother actually bought this in the 90s, and she was gonna stitch it, but then ended up not stitching it, and so she gave it to my mom to stitch it, and my mom ended up not stitching it, and now I have it and I am stitching it. So there's 3 generations who have owned this and loved this, and now I'm bringing it to fruition. So this is on 28 count Sage by Color and Cotton. And here's where, yeah, I'm gonna try. And here's where she's at. So the Sage, that's more of an accurate color on it. And I'll bring her up close. I worked on her at the end of last year and got quite a bit done on her. And this is gonna be a focus on a finish next year. I would really love to have her done by her 4th birthday, which is next November. So I've got a little over a year to get her done. So really love her. Not making any changes, except not making any color changes. The called for metallic is something that I don't recognize even. So I'm changing it to Petite Treasure Braid. Okay. Then the next one is Beachcomber from Carolyn Manning. So this is gonna be my 2020 WIPs. Beachcomber by Carolyn Manning Designs. Love this one. I started this during Mania in 2020. I did a beach themed Mania in 2020. And this is in a project bag from my mom. It's very beachy themed. Inside, it's just seashells. And this is on 40 count mallow. And that's where we're at. A little Tigger needle minder. My WIP go goal on this one is to finish this entire quadrant. So we'll see. I really want to get back to it. It's been a long time since, it's been over a year since I've worked on it. So I do want to get back to this year. All right. Next one from 2020 is Patchwork Quaker. And that's the designer's name. I started this with Shiloh from X-Stitch MD. We have the hashtag #CuzQuakerSal that we started two and a half years ago. It's been fun to watch her because she's stitching it from left to right. And so she kind of has this whole part done and then she's moving over. I started top down. So it's kind of fun to see us have different things stitched. But I'm stitching this on 40 count platinum. And the WIP goal on this one this year is to finish it. So we'll see. But I just love those colors so much. It's Patchwork Quaker Monet's version. So he has the same pattern in multiple colorways, and we're doing it in Monet's version. So yeah, love that. It's okay, Tinky. This next one is Celtic Summer. I have already finished Celtic Winter and Celtic Autumn, and so now I'm working on Celtic Christmas and Celtic Summer. Yeah, Autumn, Winter done. Celtic Summer working on, and then I have not started or kitted up Celtic Spring yet. But here's the original Celtic Summer. I am doing a conversion on this one. I've done conversions on all of them so far. Some of the other two were already like on the Facebook page, which I'll link down below. This one I'm creating my own conversion to make it more of our wedding colors. And I'm gonna change the basket in her hand to resemble my bouquet from our wedding last year. This is on 28 count Salt Rock from Color and Cotton. And this is how far I've gotten. So I've gotten most of the blue. I wanted to test out all of the colors. You can see I need to take out that little patch when I was testing out the teals, but these are all the colors that will be used, and she has been so much fun to work on. That's where we're at. The WIP goal on this one is to finish the top part of her dress. So we'll see. Hasn't been called yet. And then I store this in a bag that was a gift to me from Lynn of Lynn X Stitches. I'll link her down below. She makes project bags, but I love this project bag, and it's a really nice one to fit all of this stuff in. And then the next one, still in 2020, is Hammock at Sunset. But this one, for next year, for my next WIP parade, I'm gonna change the date that I talk about this one, because I did start this in 2020, but I restarted it this past June. And so I feel like the restart date is more accurate to judge it by. So this is Hammock at Sunset, full coverage from Stitch X Cross Stitch Designs. And I'm doing this on 22 count Hardanger Aida. 1 strand full cross. And this is as far as I've gotten. I haven't worked on this since my last video, so it hasn't changed since you last saw it. I'm really enjoying it. Really love the 22 count 1 strand versus originally it was on 18 count 2 strand, which looked great. I had started the parking. This was pre-pattern keeper, and I'd started the parking, and I just wasn't enjoying it. Now that I have pattern keeper and like 1 strand work, it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. But I am still doing that for this next one that I had started the same month, which is for David. Starry Night Over the Rhone from Artisy, and that's what it will look like. He specifically asked me to do this, so I am still working on it 2 years later, and I so far have 1 page done. But this is also why I'm not restarting it, because I already have an entire page done. So I do have it in Pattern Keeper though, and I will keep trucking along on this one. It looks great. As you can see, it's all confetti. Yes, I have asked him if he would just like a print. He said no, he wants it in cross stitch, but I have given him no deadline when it will be done. So maybe by our 50th wedding anniversary, I can give it to him. But it is nice to kind of see it come together. But so this is on 18 count Fiddler's Aida in light oatmeal with 2 strands. Next one was actually my New Year's start for 2021. So we're now in the 2021 WIPs. And it is Shores at Hawk Run Hollow. Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I saw the model of this at Keepsakes and I fell in love with it ever since. And it was a gift to me. The Kitted Up was a gift to me from the lovely ladies of Keepsakes before I left a couple years ago. And I've not gotten very far in it. I really want to work on this. It is on 32 count, the needle binders. 32 count platinum. Yes, 32 count platinum. And it's huge. So I have the outline of one block done and I've started the lighthouse. I really need to get back to it. My WIP Go goal this year for this is 2 blocks, but this fabric is cut to size. It is humongous. I actually, when I was at Diane IG last week, they have this as a model, but it's on 40 count. And it's so much smaller and like so much faster. And I was like, I really like that. So if I ever do another Shores of Hawk Run, I might do it on 40 count. But this one, I kind of want it big because this would be like in a future study or I don't know. I love it so much. And the saying is so applicable to like our lives with David in the Navy. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep going with it because I do love it. This next one is Celebrate Christmas from Madame Chantilly. It's one of her 3-tiered trays. I have finished Celebrate Summer and I've started I think all the other seasons at this point. And some of the holidays. Not spring and Easter. I'm not a huge spring person, so I don't have a lot of spring things on the go, but I will do it at some point. I'll have to work some things on it, but right now I've celebrated Christmas, and this is on 40 count water green from Zweigart. Oh, that is not the right color. It's much more blue than that. It's coming across pretty gray, but it's a much bluer color. But I have an entire tier done. So I finished this back in March. My WIP Go goal was to finish that middle tier, and I have. The only changes I'm making on this one is that the red and the white are Etoile. I don't have written down which, I think it's 816, Etoile 816. It's whatever the called for DMC is. Oh, I guess I could look here. The called for DMC is 815. So it's Etoile 815 and then Etoile white. So I love these trays so much. It just feels like little mini finishes that I love. You feel accomplished every time you finish a little motif or a tray or anything like that. And then this next one on the same fabric is Celebrate Winter, which I'll insert a photo of the pattern here. And I started this with Evelyn of Evelyn Across the Pond for Celebrate Chantilly Sal. She and I both fell in love with this pattern when it came out last year and started a little sal for it. So I love it. I need to work on it more. My WIP Go goal for this one is to just finish the outline of the tray. I always start with the tray because then you can just like fill in wherever you want once you have the actual tray done. So that's how I start these, and that's where that one's at. Needle minder from my friend Taylor. Hi, Taylor. Okay. And this one is in a bag that was made by Jan at Keepsakes. Finished the stitch. So I gave her the fabrics and then she made the bag for me. So love it. This next one is called Seasons in Lace Winter from Jan Hicks Creates. I'm doing this on 56 count antique white. And I'm doing she has one for every season, and I'm doing all 4 of them on this fabric. But it's 56 count, so that's the full piece of fabric that all 4 will fit on. And then this is all I've gotten to on the winter one. So not very far, but I'm doing it in the Call for DMCs, Call for DMCs. She stitched it in MPI silks, but I'm doing the DMCs and I love it. I really need to get back to it. My goal on this one is to finish, I think, 25% on it because I have it in Pattern Keeper. So I really want to get to 25%. And we have a hashtag for this one for people who started it, hashtag seasons in lace sale. Okay. This next one I hesitated to even show because I'm gonna completely restart it, but I'll show it. This was the start we did on my honeymoon last year. And it's called Beach Chairs from Dimension. And it is on 32 count touch of blue. It's very stiff, but it works for this, and the color's perfect, so you can barely even see. But I have to rip all that out. The blue and the green are off by one. It's not a good call to try and start something on my honeymoon. I was not focused, but that is where I'd gotten to, and now I'm gonna rip it all out and restart it. But I do love it. What's cool about Dimensions, something I learned, and partly why I wanted to talk about it, the people of Dimensions, if you email them proof that, I'll find the email address and I'll post it down below. If you email them proof that you own the kit, they will send you the PDF of the chart if they have it. It's not Dimensions that you're emailing. I forget exactly who it is, and I'll post it down below. But if you let them know that you have proof of the chart, they'll send you a PDF of it. And I'm really liking that because then I can like zoom in, because these charts are not that easy to read. They have, they're pretty difficult, and with all the backstitch colors, and like, it's a lot. So I don't want to necessarily write on it, and I don't know. So it's a way to like be able to zoom in. You can like save it somewhere and zoom in, and so I like that. So if you need that. I don't know if it would still work in Pattern Keeper. I haven't tried, because I should try. I haven't tried yet. When I restart this, I'll try, because there's a lot around the pattern, and I don't know how Pattern Keeper will like that, but it might be worth a try. If you have done that, please comment down below and let me know how that worked. This next one, if you've watched any of my FlossTubes over the last year, you have seen and heard about, but I am just obsessed with it. You haven't seen this latest progress. I've worked a lot on this over the last week. This is Patchwork by Jan Hootman, and I'll insert the pattern here. And this is where I'm at. So I've officially started the dark blue section. This is inspired by Diane at the Quaker Addict on Instagram, and Brandie, Cooter on the Log on Instagram. And I am doing a complete conversion. As you can probably tell, it looks nothing like the original pattern. Let me zoom in on it. So this is what's new since you've last seen it with my conversion. I had forgotten to mention on my last videos. So Diane, Brandie took a photo of Diane's. She did a rainbow conversion on this. I'm just gonna hold it up while I talk about it. She did a conversion of it, a rainbow conversion that she then brought to StitchCon last year for the brag table. Brandie took a photo of it and posted it and sent it to me, and then inspired me to do a beach conversion. But what was even more inspiring about Diane's picture is that she not only converted the colors, but she omitted a lot of the extra things in the pattern. So I don't have a printout of the pattern, but I'll post it again right here while I'm talking about it. So if you look at the pattern, there's a lot of numbers around. There is the initials, which she does not give you an alphabet for, by the way. Initials, like there's a chunk above where it says, where the quote is, above there's a chunk there. Well, Diane omitted all of that. And in places where she could, she extended the motif further down. So I am doing Diane's version of that. So like on places where it extended down, I zoomed in on Diane's photo to see how she, or Brandie's photo of Diane's work, to see how she extended that motif further down. So for example, here, this motif right here, and this one too next to it. Normally this is where a word is, right above it, and it cuts off half of this motif and a lot of this motif. I just extended it down to the top of the quote, so you can see more of it, and I just repeated the pattern. And there's a couple other places like that too. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I think it was this one. This is the same thing too. So this is where the initials would go for the in the original pattern, I just copied Diane and extended it further across. So that, I keep forgetting to talk about that whenever I show this, but that is, so it's not even a perfect, it's not just a color conversion, but like, here too, on this new section I noticed, so this right here, that is where like there are some numbers or letters, I don't even remember, I think it's numbers. And then the next motif starts above here. I'm just not gonna put anything there, or if I do, it will be something different, but it won't be the random numbers that are in the original pattern. So something to keep in mind too, when you're looking at this and comparing it to the original pattern. But I've so loved this. I will post my conversion when I am finished with it, which hopefully will be by the end of the year. My goal now is to finish this before the end of the year. And I will post kind of like how I did it, like the numbers and like my designations, because as you can see, there's kind of a gradation, the sand to the teal, and now we're getting to the dark blues. That's purposeful. And so I'll post a whole document kind of like how I did this if you're wanting something, if you're wanting to do something a little different, not necessarily this conversion, which I'm using some flosses that like you can't get now, because I'm pulling mostly from stash and then like random, like when I was at Diane to Stitch, I saw a nice blue, I randomly bought it and tried to incorporate it. Like it's very eclectic pattern I have here, colors I have here. So, but if you're wanting something similar, I can at least like describe how I went about this, I guess. But to give you an idea of like, this is so not a science. This is a picture, like to show you like how many changes I made as I went. Like barely anything stayed the same from when I originally tried to convert it. Like it's a mess, you know? So I'll talk about all that when I'm officially done, but it's my obsession right now and I love it. We'll see if I probably will have more done on it before I show it in my FlossTube next time. Okay, and then I have the last one for 2021 before we get to 2022 is Wintry Mix by Sue Hillis, and I'm doing the long one down below. I fell in love with this the first time I ever went to Keepsakes, and this was my, I think my first purchase at Keepsakes. So I finally started it at the, on Thanksgiving last year, and I'm doing it on 32 count raw. Oh, I didn't talk about, patchwork is on 46 count flax. And this is on 32 count raw. And this is as far as I got. I worked on this Thanksgiving week last year. And it's wonderful. I'm not changing anything about the pattern. I'm keeping it all the same. And my goal for this year is to finish it. So this is cut to size. I've got 3 of the 6 trees, but the other 3 are big trees. So I have these 3 right here. So I've got another one over here and then these 2. So, but yeah, my goal is to finish it this year, and I'm hoping to work on it this winter as well. It is on my WIP go, or if it gets called before then, I'll work on it before then. But so that's all of 2020 and 2021, and I guess technically 2019. So now these are my the starts I had on New Year's Eve, 12 by 12. Pam and Kea, they did starting at noon. It was 1 start every hour until midnight, and then you worked on it for like that hour. And then you did like random check-ins and Instagram lives, and it was fun. It was a nice. It was fun to kind of see how much you can get done in an hour. And for me, it was more like 45 minutes. Because I would do it for 45 minutes, and then the 15 minutes I would like finish off my floss, go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, and kind of get the cue snap on the next one, so that when the next hour hit, I was ready to go for that next one. So that's kind of how I went about that. This first one that I started is another one for David. David/me, because I wanted to do it. This is Shannon Christine Midnight Sale. And it is on 32 count Picture This Plus in Nocturne. I just love it. Main change on this one so far, both of these are different. I used Anchor Black instead of DNC 310. And I changed the white, so the moon and all of the bright white in the pattern, all the sparkly is Cryonic. So that entire moon is called for in Cryonic. No, not doing that. So I changed it to DMC Etoile white, and I'm trying to see if you can kind of see that sparkle. Let me come in real close. You might be able to see that sparkle a little bit. There, that shimmer. You can see it really well in person. There's a lot of shimmer, so you kind of get the same effect without dealing with Cryonic. There is still other, the pattern hopefully shown by now. There's still beads and stuff, and I'm really excited about it. And so I'm hoping to actually have this. My WIP goal for this was the moon. I might, if I don't finish it this year, I want to finish it by the end of next year. Because there's quite a bit left, but not like an excessive amount. So excited about that. And this one lives in a bag from my mom that she made from very special fabric. This fabric was the Northcott, oh no, Mom, I'm gonna forget the name of the fabric line. Well, you can't get it now anyways, they're gone. But Mom made a very, very special quilt for us out of this fabric line that is our comforter right now. And with the leftover fabric, she made a project bag for me. So thanks, Mom. The next one is, I haven't learned how to pronounce this yet. I need to. Riccioli di Natale. Oh, I'm so sorry. From Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. This is a gift from Susan at Keepsakes. And this is the fabric. Fabric is 40 count Lagoon. And it's just amazing. Needle minder is from David for Christmas. I have only worked on this the hour. So obviously Midnight Sale I worked on this year after the 12 by 12, but this one I've only worked on the 12 by 12. I want to get a few more weeks in on this year. It probably won't come out till Christmas time. It was called, I think, back in like April, potentially. I don't remember exactly when it was called, but I haven't worked on it since 12 by 12. So hopefully this will have more work on it before the end of the year. Okay, and then the next one you did just see, but I've worked on it. And it lives in my mom's most recent bag for me, my patriotic bag with the fireworks on the inside. This is 4th of July by Madame Chantilly, the tray. Celebrate 4th of July. And I worked on this over 4th of July weekend last weekend. And I got my WIP goal accomplished, which was to finish the tray and then some. So I got the tray in, and then I also got USA in. And the only thing I'm changing here is the red, which you can kind of see there. Yeah, that's showing really well. The red is Etoile 814. Right? 814? 815, of course. Etoile 815. But yeah, so in love with this. This is probably gonna go away for the rest of the year. We'll see. I probably will pull it out. Maybe I'll pull it out like over Veterans Day, and we'll see. But I did really enjoy working on it. And that's on 40 count raw natural linen. This next one I'm actually working on right now, so it's still on the Q snap. This is Bluebird of Happiness from Cottage Garden Sampling. My WIP goal on this one, this is the July WIP go right now, and my WIP goal is to finish the birds in the nest. And this is where I'm at right now. And this is on 36 count Regency from Picture This Plus. And so far I'm not making any changes. It's all except that. Yeah. The orange is coming across a little darker than it is in real life. It's a little brighter than that, but I'm enjoying working on the bird. He's fun. Okay, the next one is another tray. Celebrate Autumn from Madame Chantilly. I really, really love Madame Chantilly trays, in case you can't tell. Madame Chantilly, Celebrate Autumn. Again, WIP Go goals to just finish the tray. Outline. Obviously the whole thing's a tray, but the tray itself. And this is on 40 count mallow as well. And that's all I have. That was just that hour. I did the thing with these trays, because I want to do just the tray, but if there's too much of a distance that I'm comfortable counting, I'll do the middle thing. So you probably, I don't know if so, on Celebrate Christmas, I had the big ornament. I just wasn't comfortable counting that far without, you know, without having the thing in there. So I just put I don't want to make a mistake and be off by 1. So I put her little basket in there just to keep the counting straight. And that's where we're at. So this one will come out again this year to hopefully get the outline of the tray done. And then I should be almost done with all the trays. And then next year I can actually work on the motifs, which will be fun. Next one is Forever and Ever from Cottage Garden Sampling. This is the one I originally fell in love with from this series, and then I found other ones that I fell in love with, but this is what originally drew me to this series. And I'm doing this on 32 count Lugana Vintage Stormy Night. And this is as far as I got. It was just the outline of the L. I just thought the background of that was really pretty. Actually, one of the stitchers at Keepsakes stitched all of this series on this fabric, and it all looked fantastic. So that was the inspiration behind using this fabric. And so far, so good. I really enjoy it. It's a printed fabric, so it's blank on the back. And I have stitched other things on it before, and I do love it. So let me get back to this one too. I think this is also on my WIP Go. I think it's to finish the birds, which I did not look closely when I looked at this pattern when I determined that, because these are big birds, but we'll see. We'll see how far I get. The next one is a loved one by Minnie. It's her most, Cottage Garden Sampling is the most recent series, A Year in the Woods, and this is the Fox. And I'm stitching it on 40 count, Picture This Plus in Nocturne. That's as far as I got. So not a whole lot to look at, just a little bit of her belly. I'm calling it a she. A lot of people have been calling it a he. To me, it looks more she-like, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm calling it a she when I talk about it. This fabric is not that fun to work on. 40 count Picture This Plus is tough. It's tough. It really, really good lighting. 40 count dark fabric from Picture This Plus, because as we know, as people have talked about, Picture This Plus fabrics after dyeing, it shrinks. I mean, a lot of them shrink, but Picture This Plus for some reason really shrinks. So it's not, this is like maybe like 44 count at this point. And it's just very tight. So it's kind of been stripping my floss when I work on it. So I have to use shorter lengths. But I think it's gonna look great. So it's worth it. It just takes a little more focus. That is actually not on my WIP Go this year. So I don't know if I'll get back to her before the end of the year. We'll see. This one I fell in love with. I'd already seen, I saw the pattern a long time ago and I already loved it. But then Candace from Candace K showed it, and she just finished hers actually, and it is just amazing and I really want to get back to it. Woodland Wonder from Glendon Place. I just love this so much. So I started it. It is on 32 count Picture This Plus in Oaken. And that's all I got, was just started the green around. Needleminder from Stitchy Linda on Instagram. And I really love the brown. I mean, that's a little harsh, but like brown, modeling, it's not that harsh in person. But I love it. And this, I did not have room on my WIP Go board for this one on this year, but definitely next year. Definitely. I'm hoping, because I'm at this rate, I'm hoping to have, I think, 7 or 8 finishes by the end of the, like planned finishes by the end of the year off my WIP Go and WIPs. And so more room for these, which I'm excited about. Okay, this next one is Falling Snow from Shannon Christine. I had to look at the name because there's another one that's very similar that's a different name. So Falling Snow, I'll put the picture in here. She came out with this one last year, and it's in another mom bag with this gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas fabric. Winter, I guess more winter fabric, but just love this fabric. And the inside is pretty blue. And this is stitched on 40 count aqua from, is it Witchelt? I didn't write that down. I'm not sure if it's Witchelt or Swigart, but I love this aqua color. So that's her. I literally have one line of white, like not a whole lot to look at right now. My WIP goal on this one is to finish the top sky part, at least just to get to the other side to see how wide it is. And then I think it's 15 rows of white, just back and forth. So once I can reach that other side, it'll be easy. I don't even have to look at the pattern for a while, but it is in Pattern Keeper, which helps me keep track. But I might have to put like counting pins in because I forget how wide it is, but it's a very wide one. But it's so pretty, and I do love it. I love Shannon Christine. She's one of my favorite designers. This next one, Mom, make sure Dad's not around. This next one's for my dad, and it's in a mom bag. Coffee. I just love it. Love this bag, and I love coffee. And this one, so my dad, he's a graphic designer during the day, but he is a prolific hobbyist photographer. And so I'm doing Let's Make Memories by Ursula Michael Imaginating. And I'm working on the center part right now. And I'm doing this on 32 count Silvery Moon. And that's where I'm at. Once I get that middle part done, it's gonna be so fun to get all the back. I think it'll go really quick on the back stitch. I mean, that's the full size and it's not that big. And then once I can get this middle part, the shutter done, then I can I think I can finish it pretty quickly. So I'm gonna get this one back out pretty soon. I'd like to give this to him for Christmas. If not, his birthday's in February, so I have a little bit of an extra buffer. And if that doesn't work, there's always Father's Day. So many opportunities, no deadline. Gosh, this pile. This is the biggest pile I've ever had. Okay, this next one is Let's Talk Stitching from Hands On Design. I've loved this since she released it. I gave my mom a kitted up Let's Talk Quilting for Mother's Day. Tanky, be careful. Sorry, he's trying to get better. Okay, Let's Talk Stitching. I'm doing this also on the 40 count aqua. Tanky. And that's all I got. I haven't worked on it since I started it, and I haven't, it's not on my WIP go, so I haven't worked on it, but I do love it, and I really enjoyed, I am making some changes to this one. I changed out the greens, and I'll put that down below because I did not pull the greens that I changed it to. Might be right here. No. I don't have the greens that I changed it to right now, but I will post them down below if you're interested. I just wanted, these were kind of like yellowy green, and I wanted more green. So that's the change. Two more. Next one, this is my New Year's start for 2022, or finally at 2020. Oh, I guess, yeah, 2022, it depends, yeah. Auld Lang Syne from Hello from Liz Matthews. I loved this the second that she released it, and finally got to start it. I'm doing it on 28 count Crystal Helix from Picture This Plus, but I'm doing it 1/1. I really loved this fabric, but I only had a tiny little bit. It was a gift from Lenny shortly after I started going to Keepsakes, and it was just like a scrap she had, big scrap. I shouldn't say scrap. It was, she wasn't going to use it. I don't remember exactly what she gave it to me, but she gave it to me, and I really wanted this fabric, but I cannot find Crystal Helix anywhere. If anyone has any lead on Crystal Helix from Picture This Plus, I really want to buy more in different counts. But this is my favorite fabric to use for it, and obviously it was not going to fit on it, so I did it over one, and I really love it. So this is where I'm at. This sparkly is just perfect for this New Year's Eve piece, and I just love it. I'm doing it in Midnight from, I think it's the Gentle Arts color Midnight. It's just so pretty. Oh wait, I can check that real quick actually, if it is Midnight. No, I'm sorry, I know it's Midnight, whether or not it's Gentle Art. So I'm using it in my patchwork as well. Gentle Art, that's right. Okay, yeah, Gentle Art Midnight. It's a gorgeous blue. That sparkle is just divine. So yes, if anyone knows how to get more of this, I really want some. I have like 3 projects I could use it for. Okay, and then this last one you just saw on my last video, if you've seen it. It's another mom bag. She had some navy fabric, and so I keep it in the navy bag with all the anchors. If you're new here, if this is your first time watching me, my husband is a physician in the Navy, so Navy. And I started this on our anniversary a couple weeks ago. It is Forever and Ever from Ink and Print Co. on Etsy. I'll link it down below. I'm stitching this on 40 count fabric from Steel City Stitchers. It doesn't have a name, and it was a gift from Barbara at Keepsakes. And this is it. I'm just stitching it in white, B5200. And I'm about 50% done. I'm trying to get the right color of the fabric. Yeah, that's pretty close. And then, I mean, it's a big piece. So I've got plenty of room to go. But it's Forever and Ever, Amen. And I love stitching on it. I'm hoping to get this back out. I want this to be done by the end of the year as well. So yes, that's all my WIPs. That actually went a little bit faster than I was expecting it to, I gotta say. But I love them all. I want to work on them all. I want them all to be done. So I'm just gonna keep working away. But now we have some good before photos, so hopefully when I do this at the end of the year, we can really see the progress that I made on some of them. So thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time, then welcome, and thank you for checking me out. I will be back in 2 weeks, either July 29th or July 30th, one of those days, for my regular FlossTube. And until then, happy stitching, everyone.